Right now, as you're listening to me, there are trillions of living organisms inside you. Trillions. They're in your gut and they are busy. They help you digest your food. They help break down the things that you couldn't break down on your own. They're making certain vitamins for you. They're helping train your body's defenses, and they're helping protect the lining of your gut. And most of us were taught to think of our gut or our GI tract as just plumbing, a tube that food comes in and waste goes out. But that's not just what it is. Your gut is a living ecosystem. And here's the part that is so cool. That ecosystem is talking to your brain. Right now, there's a whole conversation inside you that most of us have no idea is going on. Here's the best news. You are the one tending to that ecosystem. That whole ecosystem has a lot to do with you and what you do or what you don't do. Every single time that you eat, most of us just never know that we've been gardening. And that, my friends, is what we're talking about today. So let's get into it. Welcome to Fuller Living, your space for empowerment, inspiration, and practical health nuggets. Here you'll find relatable guidance that fits your everyday life as you journey to a fuller and healthier you. I'm your host, Dr. Ashitey. Let's dig in. Welcome to Fuller Living, wherever you're listening from, whether you're new, whether you're old, driving, on a walk, or grabbing something to eat. As always, I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me start today by introducing you to someone we're going to follow. Let's call her Maya. Maya isn't one specific patient. She's a little bit of so many people I've treated over the years. Maya might even be you. Maya is busy. She's really good at her job, and there's always more of it. She eats on the go. Sometimes she just grabs something on the run. It might be a sandwich many days. And when things get stressful, usually the easiest thing to disappear from her plate are vegetables. Does that sound familiar to you? I thought so. And lately, two things have been quietly happening with her. Her digestion feels off. She feels bloated, sluggish, and just blah. Her mood has also been very low. She feels flat, tired in a way that when she looks at her sleep, it doesn't really explain it all. But here's what Maya doesn't know yet. Those two things might be talking to each other. Her gut and how she's feeling, and her mood. So we're going to follow Maya along through this episode because what's happening inside of her is probably happening, is happening in all of us. We're doing three things today. First, I want to show you that you are an ecosystem, a whole ecosystem. Second, I want to show you how this ecosystem is talking to your brain. And third, I want to show you exactly how you can tend to it, starting with your next meal. So let's get into it. Number one, you are an ecosystem. Let's go inside Maya. Down in her gut, she has a whole community, trillions of tiny organisms that are living, they're interacting with each other, and they're interacting with her. Scientists have a name for this community. We call it the microbiome. Microbiome. Now, I want you to actually hold on to that term from now on because you're going to hear it over and over again, and you're going to hear it everywhere now. Microbiome, your inner ecosystem. These organisms aren't just freeloading, they're earning their keep. They're breaking down part of Maya's food, the stuff that she can't break down on her own. They produce certain vitamins. They're helping train her immune system to tell what's friendly versus what's not. They help her guard the lining of her gut wall. So here's what I want you to sit with. Every time that Maya eats, she's not just feeding herself, she's feeding them. And when she feeds them well, they pay her back. You see, a healthy gut is like a healthy garden. Lots of different species, all doing different jobs, all backing each other up. If one type struggles, another can step in and cover that work. Diversity is the goal. I'm sure you've seen this come to play in different areas of your life, especially in the job place. That's what a garden is about. Resilience, hard to knock over, strong. But a garden with only one or two kinds of plants, that's fragile. So if something comes in and one of them has a virus, that's your whole garden right there. One bad season, whole thing wiped out. So let's go back to Maya and her sandwich. By taking the same lunch every single day, she's essentially feeding the same species over and over and quietly starving out the others. Her garden is getting less and less diverse, fewer kinds of plants, more fragile ground. This garden was first planted the very day you were born. It's shaped over a lifetime by how you were born, what you ate when you were a child, where you lived, the stress that you carried. And naturally, as we get older, it tends to lose some of its diversity on its own, which is exactly why we need to tend to it regularly, especially for Maya, you, especially right now. Number 2, your gut is talking to your brain. Maya's gut isn't quietly digesting down there. It's talking to her brain, and her brain is talking back. This is a two-way conversation. It's happening all day. Some people call the gut the second brain, and it's not literally a second brain, but that nickname exists for a very good reason. There's so much nervous system tissue in our gut. It's in such constant communication with your head that the two really do function like partners. So, how do they actually talk? There's a direct link between them. Think of it like a cable for a phone running straight from the gut all the way up to the brain. Signals travel in both directions. Your gut sends updates. The brain sends instructions down. It is a system that works together. Here's the point. Your gut is a major chemical factory, and it is in constant conversation with the systems that shape how you feel. Your gut and your brain are deeply linked. So let's turn back to Maya. Let's put her in a very hard week. She's got a very big deadline coming. She's not getting enough sleep. Her stress cranked all the way up. Crank it up. And let's watch what happens. Her brain is under stress, so it's going to send signals down to her gut. Her stomach is going to tighten. I know you felt this before. Her digestion is going to slow down, and that stress is traveling down. That's just what it is. You have felt this before. I know you have. The butterflies before something scary happens, those stomach knots before hard news, that's not just in your head. That's this line that we're talking about working. But it runs the other way as well. Maya's gut, underfed, less diverse, not in great shape, is sending its own signals up. And a struggling gut can weigh on how a person feels. So think about this loop that she's in. Stress is hurting her gut. Her hurting gut weighs on her mood. Low mood makes it even harder for her to eat well and manage stress. And the cycle goes round and round and round. Now, I want to be very clear. This is an oversimplification. I'm not telling you that eating a sandwich every day is going to make you have a bad mood. Our mood is complicated. There are many things that shape it. The gut is just one thread in a much bigger picture, and it's never a replacement for real mental health care. I don't want you leaving here saying, if I eat vegetables, I'm not going to need my depression medicine. But this thread is real, and it's one Maya actually has some power over, which is exactly where we're going next. All right, let's give Maya some good news now. The good news about a garden is you can bring it back. In Maya's garden, her microbiome, one of the most powerful tools that she has is fiber. Let me tell you why fiber matters so much. Fiber is that food that your gut organisms eat. It is their favorite meal. So when Maya eats fiber from vegetables, fruit, beans, whole grains, those organisms are having a feast. And when they eat, they produce fuel that keeps her gut lining healthy and helps calm inflammation in her body. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you remember my episode on inflammation, and that should make this land a little bit better. Feeding your gut is one of the quiet ways you help cool that slow burn. So, fiber is a headline, but there's a second piece. It's not just fiber, diversity of plants. Remember, a strong garden is one that has many species, and different plants feed different organisms. So, the more variety of foods that Maya eats, different vegetables, different fruits, beans, nuts, seeds, whole grains, the more kinds of organisms she's feeding, not just one, all right? Variety on her plate becomes variety in her gut. There's a third piece as well. Hold on. So I talked about fiber. I talked about variety. The third piece is fermented foods. Foods like yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut. They can all help support a healthier community in your gut. A little bit consumed regularly can go a very long way. Now, let's talk about what wears the garden down, because Maya needs to know this as well. Ultra processed food, foods that are very low in fiber, the same sandwich every single day, is slowly going to starve those good organisms. Stress. Remember that phone line? We now know that chronic stress reaches all the way down and changes this garden itself. So managing stress isn't only good for your mind, it's also good for your gut. So picture Maya. A few weeks in, she hasn't overhauled her whole life. She's just been feeding the garden. A little more color here, a little more plants, a bit of yogurt, some kimchi maybe here and there. And slowly, not overnight, things start to shift for the better. Her digestion starts to feel calm. She's starting to have more energy and feeling more steady. That heavy, blah feeling is finally starting to lift. And slowly, her garden, microbiome, it's coming back to life. Here's what I want most of you to hear. Of everything research have studied of gut health, the most powerful lever we have is the simplest one. What's on your fork? Not a pill, food. Now, let's turn this into something that Maya, well, really you and I, can actually do this week. Let's set a SMART goal. Remember, a SMART goal is a goal that is specific, it is measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Here's your goal for the week. Let's add one new plant food each day for the next 7 days. I know, might be a little more challenging than some of our other goals where we just pick one thing, but let's do something every single day this week. Specific, one plant food you haven't recently eaten. It could be a fruit, vegetable, beans, a nut, seed, whole grain. One every single day, all right? Measurable, 7 days, 7 new plants. Achievable. This isn't really a diet. You're not taking anything away. You're just adding one new thing. And think about it. When you go grocery shopping, you could grab those 7 things all at once. Relevant, because a variety of plants become diversity for your gut. And diversity is the whole game. This, of course, is part of your goal to live a fuller and healthier life. Time bound, we've got 7 days, starting with your next trip to the grocery store. And as you do it, change the words in your head. This is not about a diet. This is about feeding my garden, feeding my microbiome. This is about long-term health. Let's bring it home. Today we followed Maya, and really we followed all of us. We learned that we are a whole ecosystem, a living community of trillions, our own microbiome working every single day for us. We learned that the gut talks to the brain and the brain talks to the gut. This is a two-way conversation that touches how we even feel. And we learned how we can tend to it ourselves with fiber, with variety, with fermented foods, and with less stress, one fork at a time. Here's the line that I want you to carry out from here. We garden this ecosystem whenever we eat, whether we mean to or not. So we might as well do this with purpose. So now I would love to hear from you. What is one new plant food you are going to try this week? Tell me in the comments because I really want to know. And your idea might actually help inspire someone. I'm actually looking to see how you can inspire me. Come on, I inspire you, you inspire me, we help each other. So if this episode changed how you think about your gut, please share it with someone. Subscribe wherever you're listening because it genuinely helps people find these conversations. I can't wait to talk with you next week. Until next time, let's get to fuller living. Well, fam, that wraps up another episode of Fuller Living, where we talk about health in a bite-sized, relatable, practical, and fun way. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about making progress one small step at a time while remaining consistent. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, share it with a friend who might need a little bit of inspiration, and leave me your 5-star review. And if you're in Dallas and looking for a new PCP, look me up at southwestfamilymed.com. I can't wait to meet you. Until next time, let's get to fuller living.